Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about having Pisces on the cusp of the second house in a natal chart. The second house governs monetary things, resources, income generated, possessions, tangible assets, values, material items, self-esteem, and self-worth. Now, the sign on the cusp of the house in some instances may indicate the profession or job that this person may have, and it gives characteristics to this house, and it could indicate the way that one generates money. Now, and it could also show the manner in which this is done. Now, somebody having Pisces on the cusp of the second house, well, the person may be very idealistic in regards to their finances and what they can do as far as income generated and as far as monetary things go. They may be very insightful and intuitive regarding these things. On the other side of the coin, they may be deluded to some degree, and maybe they're overly idealistic at times regarding things of a monetary nature, as far as perhaps, example, investments, or starting a company, and they might think that it's going to make more than it actually does in terms of the income or revenue generated. This could be a person who's, as far as finances go, things of a monetary nature, they may have some ambivalence regarding this. At times, maybe the financial situation may seem convoluted or chaotic, and there might be some indecision regarding things of a monetary nature. Now, this person may put, as far as their value goes and what they value, perhaps things, their ideals, their dreams. This could be something that they put as far as self-sacrifice, being charitable. Those are things that they could put a lot of, as far as their values go, that could be very strongly figure prominently in their value system. Now, as far as self-esteem and self-worth goes, may perhaps similarly, now the charitable thing, being selfless, showing compassion toward others, this might help really figure prominently in their self-esteem and self-worth. Showing idealism, that could play a role as well. Now, we look at Pisces on the second house cusp, and as far as professions or just ways that this person may generate money, well, this could be from perhaps, for example, fishing, boating, things associated with water such as oceanography, working on a dock, lifeguard, in some isolated instances maybe a professional swimmer, chemistry, pharmaceutical work, things that are associated with illusion, such as even like as a magician in some remote cases. Special effects in movies, because that deals with a lot of imaginary things, and perhaps as well some other examples: fantasy writing, fiction novels, writing fiction novels, I should say, dancing, music. So if somebody that has Pisces on the second house cusp, their financial outlook may sometimes be a little bit hazy, obscure, or unclear. However, they can have really profound insight, and in some cases may actually do well, perhaps as far as the vision goes, in some stocks, but for example, or investments. But on the other side of the coin, they have to remember to try to emphasize a little more pragmatism and practicality in this. Excuse me. Well, because this is kind of like Pisces on the second house cusp. It's kind of paradoxical the way I see it, because on the one hand, this person can show great, tremendous insight and intuition in things of a monetary nature, but at the other side of the coin, they might not always see the fine print in things and really need to realize and study things very carefully before embarking on financial endeavors. And if they're able to do this, then using their insight and intuition, that could come in handy. Now, this is also position. Well, we look at the second house, and that governs possessions. So somebody with Pisces on the second house cusp, perhaps they have things connected with boating, such as boats, things, if they're in oceanography, maybe things connected with this. Maybe as a kid, maybe this person had like one of those kid chemistry labs. Perhaps things of a fantasy nature, fantasy books, novels, musical items, maybe a lot of music DVDs, CDs. Perhaps a lot of this person may be an avid collector of movies, because that has to do with filmography, which falls with Pisces and Neptune. Now, this is also a position where we look at Pisces, and Pisces is not a sign that is really, we would say, dominated by material possessions, is not known to be avaricious or greedy in any way, shape, or form. So they might not, this could be a position where in some cases the person may not have that many possessions because they don't see them as being very significant, and possessions might not have much lasting value because they don't really perhaps emphasize this that strongly in their life scheme. So that is another thing to look at as far as the Pisces on the second house goes. So really that's pretty much what I wanted to get at as far as somebody having the zodiac sign Pisces on the second house cusp in a natal chart. And anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for having Pisces on the second house cusp in a natal horoscope. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about the third house in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.